This is Jarrod Horak. Welcome to my latest handicapping video. In this video, I'm going to analyze the King's Plate at Woodbine for Sunday, August 20th, the first leg of the Canadian Triple Crown. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis at Del Mar, head on over to the runawayhorse.com. You will find my full cards. Each day Del Mar runs on my sales page, and go over to that sales page to get more details. If you're interested in reading my handicapping articles at Del Mar and Saratoga, you will find those handicapping articles all summer long at todaysracingdigest.com. The stakes previews, stakes recaps, and much more at todaysracingdigest.com. And then a bonus free selection that I post each day. If you're interested in a free pick, you can go over to horseracingnation.com. I've done a daily best bets blog there for many years, and you will find that best bet each day on the front page in the handicapping section at horseracingnation.com. Now we're going to get into the analysis of this King's Plate 17 horse field plus 2 also eligible. So we got a lot to talk about in this race. It'll go as the 10th race at Woodbine for Sunday, August 20th. Grade 1, $1 million. King's Plate, 3-year-olds folding Canada, 1.25 miles on the all-weather surface. 5:39 p.m. Eastern Time is the post time. And Stanley House will break from the inside post. This is a son of Army Mule with 7 starts, 2 wins, and 3 seconds. He's run 5 times at Woodbine with a win and 3 seconds. He was in good form, breaking his maiden under Javier Castellano, who he reconnects with in this race. And that maiden win was 1 16 on all-weather ground at Gulfstream Park in March. And then in his last 3 starts at Woodbine, optional claiming race, 1 16 on synthetic. He finished second. Luis Contreras rode him that day, and then Contreras was back aboard for his all-weather route win in the optional claiming ranks on June 18th. He stalked, he scored. The plate trial last time, he disappointed. He was the even money favorite in a 12-horse field. He was last early. He passed some horses. He really wasn't making up a lot of ground, and he ended up finishing 6th, beaten a bit more than 7 lengths. So looking at his good races, his maiden win and those 2 optional claiming races, he stayed within striking range throughout, showing good positional speed. In that last race, he did not do that. So I'm expecting Javier Castellano, who he's reconnecting with in this spot, to put him in a good stalking position, saving all the ground. It's just a question of, does he want to go this far against this kind of company? Elysian Field, number 2, a daughter of Hard Spun for trainer Mark Casse, and she's 2 for 6 lifetime with 2 second-place finishes, and she certainly likes Woodbine because her last 3 starts at Woodbine, 6.5 furlong maiden race in April, she stalked, she broke her maiden by more than 3 lengths. The Fury Stakes, 7 furlongs, and in that race, she was second best. She was grinding away, and then they stretched her out to 1 1/8 in the Woodbine Oaks last time out. 14-horse field, she sat in mid-pack. She made a nice run in the stretch, and she won by 2 1/4 lengths. So the Smart Cassie trainee is in good form right now, coming off that nice win in the Woodbine Oaks, and now she tries to go a furlong further in a deep field. Number 3, Philip, my dear. This one is a son of silent name, adding blinkers for the first time. He's had 7 starts with 3 wins and 2 third-place finishes. Now he's 0 for 3 on all-weather ground. He's 3 for 4 on turf. So it seems like he prefers turf. And he was doing his best running on turf last year. And then this year in 2 all-weather stakes races, the Queenston, he was 8th. The plate trial, he was 5th. So now they're trying to shake it up by adding blinkers and seeing if that'll help in his 3rd start after a layoff. Number 4, Twin City. Consistent horse here. This one is a gelded son of Klimt, and 7 of his 8 career starts he's finished in the trifecta, including 2 victories. All of those races were at Woodbine. He won the Coronation Futurity last fall at 1 1/8, or he was second by a neck in that race. He didn't win it. He made a nice late run. He just rallied through traffic and couldn't quite get there. May have been best at 16-1. And then in his races this year, the King Curry Stakes at 7 furlongs, he won that. The Grade 3 Marine, he was 7th, beaten 10. And then the plate trial as a 16-1 long shot, he picked up the show running on late. Seems to be a cut below some of the other contenders in this race, but he is 30-1, and maybe throw him in underneath. It's possible he could get a piece of this. Morstachy is next. This one is adding blinkers, and he's the real outsider in this race. He's 50-1 morning line. He's 1 for 11 lifetime with 3 seconds and 2/3, 1 for 8 at Woodbine, but he has been running in sprint races. In his last race, an optional claiming race, he finished 5th in a 10-horse field. He did have some run. He did find some traffic trouble, but they claimed him out of that race, and now they're going to throw him into an impossible spot, going from an optional claiming loss at 6.5 furlongs to 1.25 miles Queen's Plate. with a 17-horse field facing some quality competition. Now, he did have a bullet workout at Woodbine from the gate, 5 furlongs and 59 and change, a best of 8. That was on August 10th. He seems up against it in here. He really does. Kalik is next, number 6 for trainer Chad Brown. This one is a son of Collected, and he's going to try all-weather ground for the first time. He's been one that has been plying his trade on turf. They switched him to turf after a poor debut effort on the main track at Aqueduct at 6 furlongs. But in his turf route, second time out, he stalked. He finished second, much better effort. Broke his maiden in his next race at Gulfstream Park, 1 mile on turf. That began a 3-race winning streak. His second win was at Belmont against Optional Claiming Company, and he was wiring the field in that mile and a 16th turf race on the inner turf course. And then again on the inner turf course at a mile and an 1/8, the Grade 2 Pennine Ridge, he controlled the pace and stole that race by a length. And then the Belmont Derby, he wasn't able to get up and on the lead like they like to see him do because he was fractious early and he just wasn't able to get involved, and he finished 8th in that 11-horse field. Chad Brown is happy with his training heading into this race, but he has to prove he can handle all-weather ground. He seems to be best when he can get out there into a comfortable spot. We don't know that he can handle this distance because last time in the Belmont Derby he didn't, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt there, and he does pick up a strong local rider, Kazushi Kimura. So I think he'll impact the pace. I just don't know that he's going to offer enough value in here. Velocitor is next. This one, he's 30-1 morning line, and he's 3 for 8 lifetime. And all of his races have been on the all-weather surface at Woodbine. He's the one that won the Coronation Futurity at a mile and an 1/8 last fall. I mentioned that race earlier with Twin City, but this one I was able to steal that race from Post 11, just set a very slow pace and just hold on. His 3 stake starts this year were very disappointing. The King Corey Stakes, he was 7th. The Marine Stakes, he was 8th, beaten 19. The Plate Trial, he was 4th. So he's just not, he doesn't seem to have improved from age 2 to 3. Does have a bullet workout for this, 46 and change on August 13th, best of 94. But he's really going to have to pick up his game and rediscover that sharp juvenile form. Wickenheiser, a filly, is next, and she really has a nice pedigree. Lemon Drop Kid is the sire. Manchu, the dam sire, she's spread top and bottom to handle this 1.25-mile trip. And I've always liked her. But she is only 1 for 6 lifetime. And that career debut was her victory. 6 furlongs on the turf when she rallied from 9th to win nicely. And then in her next 3 starts, she disappointed. She was the favorite in the Catch a Glimpse. She was fanned very wide from Post 11, and she finished 5th, beaten 3 lengths in a 12-horse field. In her next start, the Grade 1 Natalma, she made a move from off the pace from 8th to 3rd, and then she ended up flattening out and finishing 4th. The Princess Elizabeth was her next start last fall. They added Lasix and blinkers, and she finished an even 4th in that 10-horse field, trying to rally wide again. She has improved from age 2 to 3. Her speed ratings are looking pretty good from her last 2 starts. She took on a 3-year-old and up male company at a mile and a 16th on all-weather ground, coming off of a layoff from October to June, and she rallied from 7th in a 9-horse field. She found clear sailing, and once she did, she finished up nicely. She was 2nd, beaten a length and a half. The Woodbine Oaks last time from Post 10, she was 13th early, and she just kept grinding away and coming on from off the pace, and she ended up finishing 2nd there. So now her 3rd start of the year, and she seems to be ready to run another quality race if she can get enough pace help. Silent Miracle, 30-1 morning line. This is a gelded son of Silent Name, and he's 3 for 5 with a show finish at Woodbine. He exits a win against Optional Claiming Company, in which he was up on the pace, and the pace wasn't quick, and he was adding blinkers that day, and he won by a bit less than 3 lengths. So now he's going to be facing other speed in here as he jumps up and faces Stakes Company for the first time, and he's going to need to pick up his game, but that last start was pretty good, and he has won 3 times. I just don't know that he classes up here. Midnight in Malibu, a 30-1 outsider in this race, and he's 2 for 5 lifetime. He exits a victory in which he rallied from 6th place to burst clear and get a couple lanes clear and then hold on by a neck. That was a mile and a 16th optional claiming race. Now he's got to run a longer race, and he did run a mile and an 1/8 on July 9th, and he was 10th, beaten 21. Now he's got to go a mile and a quarter after that 32-1 upset last time. I think this is a tough spot. Touch and Ride is next, and this one, very lightly raced, only 2 starts. July 1st was his career debut in a 1-mile turf race. He rallied from 7th to finish 3rd. He was 15-1, and then an all-weather mile and a 16th race last time out, maiden special weight. He stalked and he won by 5. He earned a good speed figure. He's the son of Candy Ride, but this is an awful, super ambitious spot for them to step him up from that maiden victory all the way up into this 1.25 mile race against some seasoned company. Cool Kiss is next, and he is 30-1 morning line. This is a gelded son of Kentharos. 8 starts, 2 wins, and 2 seconds. And last time out, he was second in the plate trial. That was a decent effort. There wasn't really any speed going on there. Paramount Prince was out there controlling the pace. This one from post 11, rallied from 11th, and he ended up finishing second, just holding that runner-up spot. And he was stretching out from 7 furlong races from that race. So he had run some routes last year and he didn't do well. So that was a step in the right direction last time out, but he's got to have to prove he can do it again against a much deeper cast in here. He should get some pace up. Paramount Prince should impact the pace. He has in all of his races. He went wire to wire in his 6 furlong debut, and then in the Clarendon Stakes second time out, he was 3rd of 5, and they kept him sprinting for Mark Casse. In an optional claiming race, he finished second, battling on the pace in his first start this year, and then he was second again in the Queenston at 7 furlongs, battling on the pace. And then in the plate trial, he just got out there and he stole it. He just controlled the pace, backed the pace down, and just had plenty left. I don't know that he's going to be able to do that in this race. He's going to have to prove that he can work out a different kind of trip and handle a longer distance if he's going to succeed again. He was 11-1 last time. He'll be at least that in this race. Twowaycrossing, number 14. He's 30-1 morning line. 2 for 7 lifetime for trainer Roger Apfield. This is a gelded son of English Channel. And he's had 2 wins, no seconds, and no thirds. They took blinkers off last time, and that seemed to help. He rallied from 8th to win by a neck there. And he earned a nice late pace rating in that all-weather route race. So that was a good effort. He had been coming off some turf races. So a step in the right direction last time, taking blinkers off. And his debut win, he didn't have blinkers either. So he seems to run better without blinkers, but he's going to have to get much faster. The next one, Kaukokaipuu. This one is the 15, and he's 6-1 morning line. Hope I got that name right. He was 11. He's had 11 starts with 2 wins and 7 runner-up finishes. He's run at Woodbine 8 times, 2 wins and 4 seconds. So he's very consistent, and he has good early pressing speed. I just don't know that he really wants to go this far. He's had some good efforts in sprint races, like a 9-length maiden win on May 20th at 7 furlongs at Woodbine. And then the Queenston Stakes at 7 furlongs, he won that one, stalking the pace. The Marine Stakes, he stalked, he led, but he couldn't get the job done there. He missed by a half length. So it just seemed like he worked out a decent trip in the Marine. He was stalking wide. He took the lead. He looked like he was going to be the winner, but he couldn't keep going at 1 mile and a 16th. So I'm really concerned more than anything else about the 1.25 mile distance. Does have a bullet workout for this on August 14th. He certainly has ability, and his speed ratings from his last 3 races aren't too bad. I just don't know that he wants to go 1.25 miles, especially if the pace is honest. El Cohete is next. He's 50-1, and he's run 4 times with a win, a second, and a third. He broke his maiden in a maiden optional claiming race in a turf sprint, battling on the pace. They stretched him out. He set the pace. He missed by a nose in his next start. And then last time out, he set the pace, and he was 3rd at 1 mile and a 16th on all-weather ground. So he's lost ground. He's had the lead in the stretch in back-to-back 1 mile and a 16th races. He couldn't hold it, and now he's going to have to try to hold on against other speed at 1.25 miles. And he has a bullet workout for this on August 13th, 5 furlongs and 58, best of 76. So look for him to show that speed under S. Juan Flores. Number 17, the last horse in the body of the field, Moon Landing, and he really landed a bad pace and a bad post position in here. He's adding blinkers. He's run 6 times with a win and a third. He's 1 for 3 at Woodbine. And last time out, after running 12th in the Queenston at 7 furlongs, they stretched him out, and he was 3rd beating the neck. That was a better effort. He was the favorite, solid enough, but I don't know what kind of trip we can expect from post 17. Adding blinkers in here. Probably stalking the pace, but he's going to lose a lot of ground, and Luis Contreras is going to ride. And we have 2 also eligibles in here. Number 18, Enjoythesilent. He's 1 for 4 lifetime. He'll add blinkers if he gets in. And then Runaway Charlie would round out the field if he gets in, and he's still a maiden. He finished 2nd in a 1 mile and an 1/8 maiden race last time out. He would really be in a tough spot if he was somehow able to get into the body of the field in here. So looking at this race, there's probably a million different ways you can go. I'm looking for the pace, to be honest. That's the first thing I'm going to look at. And I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for a horse that can close ground, that still has the best races in front of them, and still relatively lightly raced this year, and it's going to be able to close nicely into honest fractions. And I've settled in on Wickenheiser. I like the price at 12-1. I just think she's one that they fell behind this year. They always wanted to run in this Queen's Plate, and they got a late start with her, and she was able to start in June, and she ran okay there. And then she had a little bit of a setback again, and then the Woodbine Oaks, she ran well in that race. And now I think her third start of the year, I really think that she's in a good spot right now to end up running a quality race, her best race of the year in her third start of the year. So I'll make Wickenheiser my top choice. And my top four in here, I'm going to do 8, 1, 6, and 2. So Wickenheiser, my top choice. Stanley House is my second choice. My third choice will be Kalik for trainer Chad Brown. And then Elysian Field, the Woodbine Oaks winner, will round out my top four. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. So good luck in this King's Plate. It's a wide open race, many different ways to go. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of different opinions, and I can't knock anybody's opinion in this race because it looks like a very tough race on paper. But I'm hoping that Wickenheiser, maybe I'll make an across the board bet on him in a 17-horse field. I really think that she has a decent shot to finish somewhere in the top 3 if she can find clear sailing and get an honest pace. And it does look like an honest pace on paper. I just don't know what kind of trip she's going to get in the 17-horse field. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. And that'll wrap up this week's video. Check my YouTube channel each week. Have handicapping videos all the time. Until I see you next time, good luck at the races.